everybody, welcome back to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Magic. Today I am playing a goat boy? Um,
Kid, I believe the term would be.
a goat kid. Um, no name provided. And today I am here with my good friend and co-host.
Like the co-host. Yes, that makes me feel like I'm wearing a very sparkly, glittery suit and an obnoxious tie. Hello, I'm Deepa. I'm going to be playing a mysterious figure. You might find out who they are as the FPS goes on, but yeah, this is it's gonna be a time. Oh, I need to roll. No, I don't. Because of the timeline, I don't have to roll anything yet, so it's all good. Um, me, think of timelines. I don't have to roll something. Like, fuck. Anyway, um,
Uwu. God.
Chick, do you want me to set the scene or do you want to set the scene?
Uh, you can set the scene a bit, if you want to. You're probably descriptive words not in my brain. Um,
I pat you so gently. You hold the goat kid, and I will let everyone know where the hell we are, which
got
is
it.
actually not in Inkwell. We starting off in Faruma for this one, everyone. And not only is it Faruma, it is, gosh, it's like late afternoon in Faruma. A few years ago, probably like it's a little while ago.
Just like under a
Non-specific
decade.
time. Just it's under a decade. Actually, is it under a decade?
I don't
Sorry, I'm trying to
remember.
think. No, it might. Hmm. Oh, sorry, my brain is thinking now, my timelines. It's around a decade. We'll say it's around a decade, around 10 years ago. A little bit more, a little bit less. I do a shrug. I don't know at the moment. But anyhow, it is late afternoon, and it's been a drizzly kind of day, not gonna lie. On and off, there's been overcast cloud, and spits and spats of rain, tinkling down through the forest canopy. Um, just drip, 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 dripping. Uh, most rabbits have taken shelter by now. Most of the foxes have gone to bolt their holes. Um, and it's muddy. It's very
Mhm.
muddy and it's very wet.
Mhm.
And it's traipsing through this muddy, wet forest at the moment. Do you think?
Mhm.
Um, I said, who's going through the forest right now?
Oh shit, that was my cue.
Right.
I
I
was
let you
listening
so
to the
gently.
good narration. Fuck. Um, I am great at this.
You're so good at this. You're great. You're amazing. You know it.
Who's currently trudging through the muddy forest is a very, very short, a very short kid. Um, he's wearing this kind of waterproof wool like overcoat. Kind of looks heavy. Maybe has been used as a blanket before. Uh, with a decently sized backpack around his shoulders. You know, for how short he is, it's proportional. Um, really, this thing is like the size of a handbag for someone else. Uh, but handbag or a messenger bag. I'm getting distracted. And he's slowly making his way through the brush and the mud, leaving behind little tiny hoof prints.
Excellent. Um, would this little figure like to roll me a perception, please?
Hmm.
Whilst we're doing that, I'm gonna roll one of these. Oh, sweetie. Mm, 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 mm. Well, yeah. I suppose it's probably because of the rain that you don't notice this. Rain at the minute is starting to pick up from a light drizzle. It's getting a little heavier. It's not an outright storm or anything. But you can probably tell if you don't find shelter somewhere pretty soon, you're gonna get drenched. And whilst your cloak is somewhat waterproof, truly waterproof things don't exist. The risk of everything getting drenched is pretty high. Um, so yeah, you don't really see much of anything through the downpour. Do you hear the sound of something? You can't tell from what direction, but there's some kind of like cracking and snapping of twigs coming from somewhere.
Hmm. I think this kid kind of got a little bit distracted by looking at a frog. Not gonna
Oh,
lie. There was a funky looking frog, and he went down to go like look at it.
you hear a
But
little just
I think he mimics the noise back like as best he can. I
ah.
can't
Do you
do
want to roll
that
performance?
physically. I'm sorry.
You want to roll performance?
Yeah, sure. What have my
How
performance have
frog can
been?
you do, child?
Give me a second. I need to do math calculation.
Pat you.
Um,
Take your
that would be
time.
plus 25.
Oh, uh, apparently pretty good.
uh, it's quite louder than this small frog. Um, and if anyone else is currently moving through this forest, that was a pretty loud frog noise.
That was a pretty big frog. That's a big old frog.
That's a big old frog.
Frog. Wow. Okay. This makes sense. And also, okay.
Is that a perception?
Huh? And
Could I
considering
argue
why we,
advantage because it was loud?
I mean, I suppose so. Give it a go. Well, okay. Yeah. Alright. So it's an 18 then. Um, as you're croaking at this frog in the rain, you hear something coming closer towards you, from from behind you, some direction. It's getting closer, and you hear the sounds of something heavily breathing. It's coming quite quickly towards you.
I think he kind of takes his eyes off the frog with like a little ear twitch and sort of tries to peek up like around the bushes to see if he can see anything.
Want to roll me a deck save?
I do. I do want to roll you a dex save. What would my dex save be? Give me a second. I need to do more math. Um,
Pat, this is just me padding magic the game. It's 14. Right, um, so you do manage to duck your head out of the way as something rushes past you. You hear the thudding of boots hitting the ground, and you get just like the faintest flap of a cloak just about graze your nose as someone rushes past you in the wet, and it's just you hear the slapping of the boots, you hear the brushing of wet branches just thwacking at this person as they rush past, and you hear the heavy breathing as they just seem to run past you.
I think he blinks for a moment, looks at the direction this person was coming from. Uh,
Hmm?
is there anything there?
Roll me another perception.
5.
Oh, no, it doesn't seem to be anything there.
Um, he looks in that direction. He looks at the person. He looks back in that direction. And he goes to sort of like dash after the person.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, you dash after this person, and they're
Actually, he
going.
skips.
He
He's
skips.
skipping.
Oh, delightful. But you do hear like a little farewell ribbit as you leave. You you skip your merry way through the woods and the forest.
Yep.
Following the very clear trail that this person is leaving behind, you don't have to roll survival. It's pretty obvious where the broken snapping of branches have come from. And you come out basically the edge of a field, which is bordered with like a small little fence. It ain't big. It looks like some sort of very small village uh, that you've come out to. Um, and you see further along this fence, towards your right, it heads towards a kind of little dirt trail leading out of the woods. You see the cloak figure moving very swiftly into the village.
Mhm. God, he's still. I think, like, is she still on the dirt path, like, not exactly in the village?
Um, can be, yes.
Uh,
I would say they've just come out of they're almost exiting out of the woods, and you can see this hooded figures just kind of whipping their head around.
uh, there's. He kind of, like, thinks for a moment. Uh, does a little snap and jumps on top of the fence. A little bit of, like, doing that, arm circle balance thing. Um,
Oh,
and, uh, he stands on it, and he hooks two fingers in his mouth and lets out a shrill whistle.
uh, you see the figure was just heading out of the woods freeze. They whip their head in their direction. Um, it's kind of hard to tell. That you could see there's quite a bit of long hair kind of draping down outside their cloak. It's too dark. Like, the rain has darkened that hair. You can't quite tell from this distance what it looks like. But you see them looking towards you. They look over their shoulder, look back, and they head a swift clip in your direction.
Uh, I think like as soon as they turned around, he'd sort of like raised his hand and like started waving, um, like in that like high gesture.
Um, they do not wave back. Just seem to walk towards you faster, and they look to the woods and then back at you, and to the woods and back at you as they walk. Um, and Yeah, they hold onto the fence posts as they walk along. They're doing like hand over hand over hand as they walk towards you from the fence. Eventually, they're about 5 foot away from you, and they stop, and they just, hey, hello there. Don't do you come out from the woods as well, little one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you almost hit me in the nose.
And this person looks back and says, "Oh, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Do you need any do you need any help? You and quite a heavy burden there."
I mean, I was just wondering where you're going.
Oh, I was just taking a little bit of exercise. Out in the woods is very good. Very good. For you
But
to
it's raining.
but you see, exercising in the rain is it is good for your immune system. It helps when you run. It gets your blood going, and when your blood is going, it fights extra hard against all the bad things that the rain can give you. The cold will just get burned away, and she just sizzles her hands in the air like. Tss.
This kid looks at you with a little bright smile and like, oh, I like in a oh, I didn't know that expression. Um, and gives a nod.
Now that you're closer to this figure, you see that underneath the cloak there seems to be some sort of cloth wrapped around their head and around the base of their neck. And there are little poking bits of hair out. They seem to be like a very dark colour. You can't quite tell what colour again. And this appears to be a dark-skinned woman, with green eyes, looking at you. Um, she once again looks out at the woods and then holds out a hand towards you and says, "Once now that my run is at the moment on a pause, would you like to join me and get ourselves a little warmed up? You appear to be a little bit I think you're getting soaked, dear."
I'm fine. He says, clearly not fine. But does take your hand anyway.
Woman just nods and says, "Oh well, I mean, You certainly aren't sick, and well, if you're strong enough to walk along the fence, I'm sure you're very much fine. But it would also always be nicer to sit somewhere warm, wouldn't it? Out of the rain for a little while?
Mm, I don't know. The rain kind of reminds me of snow, and I like snow. Um, God.
Wynn just kind of nods her head and says, "Oh, you prefer the snow to the rain then?" And as they say that, she just kind of walks you along the fence, or she tried to tug you at least.
Yeah, he's walking, uh, just, very carefully bouncing on the fence. God, I
And
wiggle.
if you start to wobble, she's gonna like gently tug you up.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna fall. She's not gonna let you fall. Um, yeah. She's just gonna walk along and say, "I personally do prefer the rain to snow. Cold, chilly temperatures are not quite my comfort, but I can understand why you would like snow so much."
Oh yeah, it's real fun. Uh, and he kind of brightens a little bit. You can make snowmen and throw snowballs at people, and also bury people in snow.
Uh, she just kind of nods and says, "Yes, I would not recommend burying a person in snow. It doesn't usually doesn't that usually doesn't result in very good things for them, at least bodily, unless they are used to very cold temperatures, in which case it should be fine. But
I mean,
perhaps,
at home, sometimes we'd bury a group of the kids in the snow, and then we'd bring someone over there, and then surprise them. And he does kind of like lift his hands up in the air, like in that motion of like you surprise someone.
oh, this gets a chuckle out of this woman. It's just, oh, oh, well, if it's for the sake of a surprise, I can't say that I can't say that you're wrong. It sounds like a great deal of fun. Um, And yeah, she walks you along this fence as you're talking, and eventually you get to the point where the fence ends, and it's kind of the beginning of the town, essentially, the little village. She holds out the other hand and kind of wiggles them at you, say, "You ready to hop down?"
Oh yeah. Um, and he holds out his other hand. And gently hops down. Um,
Yeah.
by the way, mysterious person.
Mhm.
This little kid has very distinct goat hooves that I don't know if you noticed before.
Considering that she was watching them from the fence, could probably hear the of
Yeah.
their hooves atop the wooden fence. She has taken notice. Um, Do you want actually, would this child like to roll me an insight on this woman as she kind of puts a hand on the back of their shoulder blades, or on the back of their backpack and just like gently tries to push them along, say, "Well, we should probably find ourselves a little inn to stay at, hmm?"
That's a 3. This kid is far too
Mm,
trusting. Um,
yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah, nah.
uh,
Got
he
nothing.
kind of he kind of brightens and just, are we going to an inn? I haven't checked out a room by myself before. Um, he kind of bounces like he's excited to check out a room by himself.
Mm-hmm. And this woman's gonna look down and give them another smile and say, "Well, considering that you're going with me, I'm afraid that it's probably not going to be just by yourself at the moment." Um,
Ah, he looks disappointed at this fact.
she's gonna she is gonna guide him over to the inn, and it's a very small inn. It's not that much different from any of the other houses in this village, except for the fact that it's got like a little inn sign hanging over the top of the doorway. Before they enter, the woman's gonna crouch down, put her hand on her knees, and then just this kid on the nose and say, "Well, I don't know why a little child such of yourself is running around without anyone anyway, but
I'm
I
an
think it
adventurer.
is. Oh, I can tell that, obviously, with your you seem to be well packed with your supplies, and she kind of gestures at the backpack.
He does like a matter of fact nod, like, yes, I am well packed with supplies.
She looks on, and she looks at you like, yes, you have done well. Nod. And she gives you a little smile and says, "Well, I suppose what we should do is we should head in. You find yourself a warm place near the fire. Set all of your things down, and I will sort out getting everything booked in, okay?"
um, God, this. Do you want to roll an insight?
Yeah, I do. Sure. Oh, right. I forgot that's what your insight is. I did not give you the expertise in this one, but I got 16.
Hey, mysterious figure, this kid is way too trusting. Way too trusting for just a random adult who's picked him up off the side of the road.
Mm, yeah, no, she's noting that. Don't worry. She's noting these things down.
uh,
Child wandering around the woods by themselves with a bag, cloak, adults in sight. Yeah, she's noting these
though,
things.
though he seems like perfectly content with this. Like nothing at all is wrong.
Yeah, her brow will furrow a little bit. She will just usher him through the door and ask him to go, like, sit by the fire, dry out all his belongings and such, and she'll sort out rooms and things. Um, yeah, she is just gonna kind of usher Tika through.
Yeah, nameless kid who's
Yeah,
never introduced
sorry,
himself.
nameless child. That I don't know any Seeker. I apologize. Don't know who
Seeker
that
who?
is.
Seeker who?
Who?
Who is
Who
Seeker?
is? No, it's just the child. It's just the kid.
No, this is
The
just
kid right now.
a random child. A
And a
random
child.
child. Um,
And a child. But yeah, he's just gonna usher this child in. And yeah, there's a fireplace. There's some tables and chairs, and there's like a little friggin' front of house bit. Uh, kind of like half tavern, half inn kind of deal. You know the shtick. Um, and she's just gonna usher you and says, all right, kid, if you want to take a seat near the fire, I'll sort everything out, okay?" She gives
alright.
you a wink. And this is where I roll some things. If you want to roll perception for me, and I'm gonna roll some other things.
My perceptions have been going very well today with a 9.
Well, depending on how low I roll, honestly. Okay, I need to. So that one of those was an 18. So yeah. Um. Ooh. Okay. Okay. So you don't see this woman. Like you let settle your things down by the fire, probably pack them all out, and you look around, and woman doesn't seem to be anywhere that you can see. Um, and you think you kind of hear something. There are like a few patrons and stuff around, but like you're not paying that much attention. You're trying to dry all your stuff out, but you kind of think you hear something, but
He's
maybe
taken out of comb and like started getting the mud out of his fur.
that's good. Good to do that, child. Um, and as you're doing that, you might look back over and oh, the lady's suddenly back at the counter. And she's talking to someone and smiling. And this is where I roll this because yeah, she is keeping this. Yep. She's talking to the person behind the counter. They're having a good laugh. She hands over some coins, and she seems to get a key back. Then she nods at the person, gives a little wave. And the person holds up a hand, ducks onto the counter, puts two things onto the counter. Woman takes these mugs of things, gives a nod, and then heads over to you. And she says, "All right, kid, I've got us a little something to warm up." And she's gonna plop down on the floor next to you, careful not to spill the mug of something, and holds it out towards you.
He does a grabby hands.
Yeah, she hands it over, and don't know what this child has had as a hot drink before.
Is it hot
And,
chocolate?
no, it's not hot chocolate.
Oh shit!
Um, it is, if you look at it, it just seems to be hot milk because this is just a village. It's not going to have like cocoa access, I'm afraid. Um, so it is just plain old hot chocolate. No, plain old milk. Don't, damn. Plain old milk.
Plain old
Warm
milk.
milk though. Milk's good. Warm milk, very good. I get some warm milk later. But yes, that is what you have.
Uh,
And she sits.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say she sits next to you, and you're gonna see her unclasp cloak from around her shoulders and lay that next to your things too. And she does. You see that in more detail. This woman has a loose-ish fitting tunic and some gloves on. They look like leather gloves. And she seems to have like from where the fire is glowing next to her, she has like a short tunic on, sleeveless. On her arms, there seem to be like weird little black marks, like smudges. Um, and yeah, she just seems to be wearing like normal trouser jerkin type things. She sits down next to you. And
Uh,
she gives you.
the kid looks at those like weird little smudge marks, and it's just, do you have tattoos?
She
Wait, this
looks.
is my
Oh,
generic kid voice, not my generic British kid voice. Damn it. God.
as you.
I lay down. I'm sorry.
I cover you in a blanket. Also, look, the kid can be British and evolve into something else as they get older. It's fine. Um,
I'm sorry. I'm
things
not
change
used
all
to.
the time.
I'm not used to
Um,
doing this sort of voice. I'm used to doing this sort of voice.
I bet you so gently. Right. But this woman looks at you. Her green eyes just kind of blink a little startled, and she just. Oh well. It's funny you should say that, but I do actually have a tattoo. Although I'm not sure why you would think I do. I doesn't seem to be on show. She kind of looks down her arms and at her gloved fingers. She's like, I don't seem to. It's not really something on show. Well, it's
You got little
why
black smudge marks on your arm. I thought they were symbols.
okay. Give me a second. You can roll insight if you'd like. Nat 20.
That's an 8.
Yeah, no, I got a nat 20 on a deception. You are not gonna see this. That's a 30. Um,
Yeah, this is fine.
fine. This woman just blinks at you and then gives a little quirky smile and says, "Oh no, these. Are you talking about these?" And she just kind of points at the black smudges across her arms, and you do see there's actually a couple of black smudges like across her face as well.
Mhm.
Not many, just like some grazing very gently on her cheek.
Uh, and he nods. Um, if they're not tattoos, are they like war paint?
No, not quite like what paint. These are, um, hmm, these are, hmm.
Marks of an incurable curse passed down through generations.
That she just kind of snorts and. Oh, no, these are, they're not. I
Uh,
wouldn't call these a curse.
he looks like he's thinking for a moment. Um, hold on, I got this.
Take your
Hold on,
time.
I got this. I have to do fucking. I can't do this voice very well. I haven't practiced. I'm a
You.
fool.
Don't worry. This is just how it is, for
I
children in Faruma.
I hold you. I keep doing my meso voice. This is a voice for a different character.
Oh, you're getting bleed through. That's what's happening.
No. The consequences of playing two other 5-year-olds and then doing a flashback episode.
It's very
Anyway.
funny.
Alright.
Gosh.
Um,
Um,
is it some sort of symbol of your bloodline? Is it a symbol of your bloodline?
you see this woman smile. It's an odd little smile. And she kind of lifts her hand up and wiggles it in the air from side to side as if to say, sort of. And she's like, it's, well, you could say it is something like that, I suppose. It's something like that, yes. And she shrugs, and then she looks down at you and says, ah, you haven't drunk, have you had any of your milk yet? You might want to have some of that. It'll help warm you up.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. And he drinks it. Um, kind of looks down at it. Um, and he drinks it again. Uh,
She just nods.
he pulls back at some point and he's got like a little milk mustache.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, she's just gonna give oh goodness. And she's gonna reach into her pocket. Like she has a pouch around her waist and she reaches into the pouch and she pulls out like a bit of cloth and gosh. She's gonna like reach a hand out. Um, 'Cause yeah, no, she's not gonna ask. She's just gonna reach a hand out and cup this kid's cheek, and she's just saying, "You've got a little," and she's gonna reach out and she's gonna wipe at this kid's mouth with
Ah!
cotton, the cloth.
Why have you done this? Petrie!
Well, little
You're acting like my
little
mother! Ah!
yeah. Yes, well, mothers will be mothers. It can't be helped. And she kind of whips the piece of cloth not in your face, but in front of your face, and she kind of dangles it there, and then she pulls it back, lays it in the fire with the other things. It's just, I cannot help that I must listen to my motherly instincts. Woo! She wiggles her fingers.
uh, God. His face kind of like scrunches. like, like in that ew expression.
Rubbish. So I'm just, oh goodness, look at your face. You know my, I saw, oh goodness, such a face on someone so young. I don't think you need to be making that face at, hmm, I, hmm.
You have a
She
son?
kind of, uh, go inside, please. Go inside. Alright, honey, this is where
Kid,
we go.
please! Kid, please!
Shh. No, no. This woman
God
just kind of
damn it.
blinks. I'm sorry, you ain't getting nothing. You see this woman kind of blink a couple of times?
Give me the lore, Tubai!
No. And she looks into the fire. And you see, I will give you, you see a weird expression on her face, but you're 5. You can't tell what the hell that is.
No, he's like 11.
11. You can't tell what that is. Um, and this woman gives a little smile and says, yes, I do have a son, but, for now, we are not, I am not going to be able to be, I'm taking a little trip for a little while. You know, doing a little adventuring, and he is at home with my, he's at home with my wife, and you see a soppy look come across this woman's face. She looks at the fire.
God. I think he thinks for a moment and go like nods. like he's put together two dots.
Hmm?
Like he's connected the dots. He hasn't connected shit, but he's connected them. Um,
Yes, good. Excellent. Um, this woman kind of like looks at the fire. It's a very dreamy expression on her face, and then looks over to you and says, "Well, if we're asking questions about our family, what about you, hmm?" And she props her chin, uh, links her hands together and props her chin on the top and says, "So what about you, little one? Wandering around by yourself in the woods? No parents? You seem rather perfectly happy to do so.
oh
Yet you've never stayed in an inn by yourself before, hmm?"
yeah.
She
Uh, I I am perfectly old enough to be traveling by myself. Um, he says with like a little proud press to his chest.
You get a raised eyebrow. Oh, 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 really? By
Uh huh.
whose rules are you old enough to travel by yourself, little one?
My mother.
Your mother.
I told
Hmm.
her I was of age and she believed me, so now I'm here.
Cool. Okay. Okay.
What's
She's nods.
what's that plus three
Saying don't
for?
worry about it.
I know I'm
Listen,
worried
don't worry
about
about
it.
it. It's fine. Just nods and says, I see. So you're all grown up enough to go out and venture on your own, hmm? And
Yeah. Well, I was with a group that left the village all at the same time. But I wanted to go out by myself.
understandable. Seem to be the adventurous young sort type of child. And I assume you're all, well, you do seem to be rather kitted out of everything you need. And she kind of nods towards the bursting backpack.
He does a confident nod, like yes, I had gotten all of what I need, of course. Um,
Hmm?
um, it. Oh God, this is a prompt to show off, isn't it?
Hmm.
He kind
She's
of
looking.
he kind of pulls over his bag and like flips open the top part. It's just, see, I've got a bedroll, change of clothes. Um, he's pulling out these things. Um,
She's giving an approving nod of every item.
uh, I've got prayer books. Pulls out prayer books, sets them down. I
Another
got a
raised
journal.
eyebrow.
Uh, pulls out
Hmm?
a journal, sets it down. Um, God, I've got food rations in here. Pulls out food rations. One of them is just like half of them are distinctly sweets.
Mm.
Uh, God.
Okay, yeah, she's nodding. She's looking at those. She's nodding.
um, and oh, I got a knife. And he pulls out a very it it's not a traditional knife setup.
Hmm.
It's very heavily wrapped. Like whoever put it in there, like did not want him to use this knife,
Uh,
or at least
Rabia.
be able to touch it.
Mm. This woman is gonna look down at this wrapped up knife and her eyebrows are gonna go up a little. She looks at this kid and looks down at this and then looks back at the kid and says, I, it's good that they've given you something that you can fight with. Although I must admit it is a very strange holster for a knife.
Oh, uh, it's made of iron. Uh, he says this matter of factly, like it explains everything. Um,
Woman looks back at you as if it does not explain everything.
it's made of iron.
Should I roll an intelligence here to see if she could put something together?
Yeah, you can. You can roll intelligence to put things together.
Would it just be a check?
Yeah, it would just be a check.
Boy, howdy, a flat D20. Let's go.
17.
Oh, she's been rolling high. Holy crap. Um, what'd she get with the 17?
Um, you know, satyr. This kid is definitely a satyr, and satyrs are technically fae, and fae
Mm.
most commonly are allergic to iron.
Mm. Oh, kid, you're just gonna see the eyebrows on this woman that were going up slowly furrow back down, and little wrinkles come to her eyes, and she tilts her head to the side, and eyes kind of squint as she looks at this wrapped tough knife and then back at you and then that knife, and she says, so you've been given something made of iron, and do you know how to use it?
Yeah, I could stab people.
Slow nod. Okay. Now, the I think there is one little issue here. And you can tell me no if I'm prying too much, but you are a satyr, no? It's rather hard not to notice your little as she knocks on the floor.
Uh, and he gives a nod. And sort of wiggles his hoops. Um,
I'm gonna roll a bit safe. Give me a sec. You do continue, but yeah, that's fine. She does not wiggle the hooves.
God.
It's like the urge to pinch a baby's toes and just tweak them. She doesn't
God.
do it.
Yeah. I'm a satyr.
Yeah, she's gonna nod her head and just. Do you understand that satyrs cannot touch iron or similar metals without experiencing unfortunate side effects? Specifically, that it will hurt you?
He kind of like uh gets like a sort of blank look, and then like gets another like scrunched up look. Um, not exactly of like any sort of realization, but he kind of like sticks his tongue out. Oh, I'm fine. See?
Mm.
Yeah. And he picks up the knife again and unravels it by taking like one of the wraps and like untucking it, and then sort of holding up the wrap and letting it like fumble. Like
Uh,
you know how you take like something that's been wrapped in cloth and you take like one end of the cloth and then you let it like
oh,
sort
and
of
yes.
do gravity. Yeah, he does that
Yes.
and like takes out the knife, and it's a pretty nice knife, all things considered. It's more of a tactical knife than one used to properly stab people for lots and lots of damage. Um,
Mm.
it's probably got like a little like stick of oh, what is it called? It's got like one of those little sticks of flint that is stuck in the handle that you can use to like turn over and
Ooh.
make sparks. And
Ooh.
he holds it by the handle, and sort of
Mm-hmm.
like touches like the back edge of the knife, the blunt side,
Hmm.
and all very rapidly, before you can really stop him from doing this, and he doesn't look hurt like at all.
Hmm. Hmm.
Would you like to roll a medicine though?
Yes, please. Uh, and even if she rolls low, I know what she's gonna do. Because she knows what this does to... That's a
Uh,
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Um, you don't see any sort of burns. Uh,
Mm.
Not exactly like you probably would have expected. However, like his fingertips do seem to be sort of turning a bit of a strange sort of pinkish red color.
Mm.
Kind of like developing a rash.
Yeah, okay. She's gonna look at this child and she's just gonna slowly reach out underneath, pluck this knife, or like put her thumb and forefinger, pinch the blade of the knife, and then pinch the hilt, and she's gonna gently tug it out of the kid's hand and say, your
Aye, that's my
fingers.
knife.
I'm not taking it. I'm taking it out of your hands, but I'm not taking it away from you. Let me put it back in the cloth because your fingers are starting to get a little discolored.
Oh, it's fine. I've
No,
had
it's
longer
not fine.
contact.
No, it is not fine. Let go of the knife.
He blows a raspberry at you.
Gosh. Do I have to roll? And let me see. She's gonna roll persuasion. Now, you know what? She's gonna roll persuasion. Her eyes are
No,
gonna
give me
soften.
your argument. Give me your argument for
My argument?
persuasion. Yes.
She's gonna use a tactic that she can use on children, which is her motherly eyes. Um she's gonna furrow her brows and she's gonna get a very soft look on her face, and her eyes are gonna just droop in a little bit of sadness, and she is just gonna try and tug the knife a little and say, "Oh, little one, I don't want your hands to be hurt any longer. If I wrap the knife up, it will stop your fingers from getting hurt. And I don't want to see you hurt. Do you understand? It hurts a mother's heart to see a child be hurt."
You act exactly like my mother. He kind of complains, but lets go of the knife.
Excellent. Ignore that roll. I hit the enter button by accident.
God.
She will gently take the knife, and she will put it back in the cloth, and she will wrap it up again. And as she's wrapping it, she will say, "Now I'm going to ask you not to take this knife out until I can find you a pair of gloves that you can wield it with, and it won't burn you. Okay?"
I think he kind of uh he kind of just like groans. It's just you're acting almost exactly like my mother. Goods. Uh he kind of dramatically like lays down on the floor. Um
And as I told you before, I am a mother. I can't help it. And she
hmm,
lifts one of her hands up and she ruffles this kid's hair.
congratulations, your new title is Travel Mom. Um
And you just hear this cackle of a laugh echo through the inn. The innkeeper probably turns around and just looks away. No, mm-mm. As this woman belts out a laugh and says, oh goodness, travel mother. Oh. And she lifts one hand up and just rubs her eyes from where tears have started to leak out. And I'm gonna roll her another one of these.
Your mother I met while traveling, obviously.
Oof. Oh, okay. I'm not even gonna make you roll for this. You see as she's wiping her face, like tears are traveling down her face, and she's smiling. You notice as she's rubbing her face, she seems to graze some of the black marks on her face, and you see she kind of twitches, and with each twitch, like you see her eyes get a little bit more watery, but she's still smiling. She rubs at her face and just, oh goodness, yes, travel mom then, hmm? Is that an invitation?
Uh God. I laid down. God damn it. Me magic putting together dots. Hmm. I think he kind of squints. And it's just, did those marks on your face make you cry more?
um, hmm. She just kind of gives me a second actually. I'm gonna roll one of these. Could you roll me an insight again?
Yeah.
Cool, let's see. Because I rolled
God
that.
damn it. What the fuck? I don't. Have I rolled above. Like, have I rolled
Do you
above
want to
a
roll
10
again?
on
Do
any
you want to roll again?
sort of.
Roll again.
Uh,
Because I did roll a nat 1 on my deception, so... That's... No. Damn. Rabia, why are you like this? This woman just kind of looks at you and says, oh, well, let's just say that these little marks, and she doesn't tap them, but she does circle the black marks. These little marks are, it's part of my bloodline, you can say. It's something that happens on
so I
occasion, but
was right!
you were right, sort of. And she just kind of pats you on the cheek.
God.
I would say, because we've been sitting near the fire, you see that her hair, which was kind of darkened by the rain, has slowly started to lighten to like a deep kind of strawberry blonde reddish colour.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just starting to lighten and starting to curl very slightly at the ends.
Mm-hmm.
And she gives she gives you a little smile. A little glance around the inn, and she looks at all the belongings that you've taken out and says, well, it is getting quite late. I think maybe we should pack all of your things away, get to our rooms, and sort ourselves out.
His eyes, kind of sparkle, 'cause and, and he sort of gets up from where he was still laying dramatically on the floor, and goes to very carefully put his items back in the way they were, which, by the way, is the only possible way they can fit in this bag.
Yes, it is Tetris Max.
Tetris Max, with a little bit of overflow. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And and uh, he kind of like stands up, and like offers a hand to help, to help, Travel Mother, as you've been dubbed, TM.
Yes, excellent. TM. Oh,
TM.
brilliant. Important.
uh, to help you up. Whether you need this help or not, he is offering it. He is offering it with a smile.
That hand. She's gonna take that hand, and as you pull her up, it feels really easy to pull her up, like super easy, and she seems to like cling onto her tiptoes, and she sticks her hands out in the air and wiggles them to the sides, like, oh, you're very, you're very, very strong. Oh, goodness gracious, you almost knocked me over. She slumps back down onto her heels.
He looks very proud of himself.
Good, as he should. And she gives him a very big winning smile and says, oh, I can tell you're going to be a very strong young man when you grow up. Oh, my apologies. I should not assume you are a boy or a girl. Are you a boy or a girl? Or neither? Or both? Somewhere in between.
I think he kind of looks with like a half confused expression and goes, I'm a satyr? I thought we established this.
She looks out at you, and this kid's not going to see it, but the innkeeper is going to look over, and they are just going to see the abject look of a parent being like, how do I explain this particular thing to a child? Before she just shakes her head and is like, okay, you are just a satyr then. Just a satyr kid. Right, of course. Okay. Just a satyr kid. Actually, do you... I haven't even told you my name, how rude. What's, we should probably introduce ourselves, shouldn't we?
God, can you roll an insight?
No, it's not
well,
no.
170! 170, that's a really high
That's a high roll. Fuck around.
Damn. 20.
Rolling
He
heavy.
looks at you with this sort of blasphemous face, like you have suggested, like, something completely terrible. Sharing
Uh,
names? Awful.
I think it like takes a couple of seconds, like a couple of seconds for her to like furrow her brow and look at this kid, and then her eyes wide and she's like, "Oh right, Faye, probably shouldn't ask for their name," and then just right, of course. I apologize. I did not mean to presume the grace of your name. Of course, that is something just for you. However, may I ask for what you wish to be called?
And he kind of, I'm doing a wiggle. He he kind of there's an ear twitch. That it's like it kind of flaps basically. Um, I mean, you can call me whatever you want. My actions should speak louder than my words.
Oh, okay, magic. I'm gonna do something, and you can tell me if you don't want this to happen. But she's gonna look down at this kid. She's gonna look out at the rain, which is starting to get heavier. You haven't noticed during this conversation, but it is now pretty stormy out.
Hmm.
And you get the feeling you're not gonna be leaving this in for at least until next morning or some such. She looks back down at you and says, "Well, you have made an otherwise rather dreary run a little more bright. So," looks back at the fire and slides her eyes over to you and says, "Would it be alright if I called you Sunshine?"
Okay.
Again, magic, completely up to you. It's
I
okay.
I will accept this. Gods. I think like his eyes kind of like light up a little bit. And he's just, oh yeah, sure, that'll work. Um, and do not mind like the small like clicking of his hoof. His singular hoof that is sort of just kind of little bit stomping on the floor. Don't mind that.
Okay, sure, yeah, no. I mean, they're a satyr. It's fine. She doesn't know satyrs, it's fine. She's just gonna nod and says, "Alright, Sunshine Kid. Um, I will call you. I suppose you should know my name. At least." Hmm. She kind of blinks, nods, looks at the fire again, and says, "Now I'm going to let you know my true name, but I'm not giving it to you. It is I'm giving you the gift of knowing it. Okay?"
He nods with complete seriousness.
She nods back. She looks around, and then she kind of makes a come hither motion. She's
Uh,
looking around, and her eyes look very surreptitious.
he he hops a bit closer and like leans in like he's going to be told a secret.
And she cups both of her hands around her mouth and she leans in very closely as she can. And you can see she's still looking around the room as if something is listening in.
Uh,
She whispers into Sunshine's ear, "My name is Rabia. Rabia Blind.
uh,
And I trust you. Keep this between you and I."
he nods seriously and does like a cross my heart motion. Cross
She
heart
nods back and she
motion,
copies the motion.
zipper over mouth.
She nods back and she copies the actions. Um,
Nice.
do you know what these mean? I don't know, but she sure does copy it. And yeah, at this point, she looks out the window and she looks down at you and says, "Well, how about we head over to our room, hmm?" She holds out a hand for Sunshine to take.
Sunshine picks up the rest of his mug of milk and takes her hand.
I just realised something. She hasn't had a sip this whole time. Seeing as he picked up the milk, Her eyes widen, she looks down and sees, oh yeah, oh, right, yes, of course. Completely forgot I had that. And she swipes it up. It's a big long swig. Um, then kind of just walks with Sunshine's hand in hers, down a very short corridor to where there's a few. She goes through a little door, and there's a few little doors in the back that lead to very small rooms, basic rooms. Uh, get into a room that's like one cot, a windowsill, dresser, and that's pretty much it. Um, and she'll probably offer Sunshine the bed. Um, because again, child probably doesn't sleep in bed super often. She'll probably at least get the experience. Um, and yeah, she's just gonna make sure that Sunshine's comfortable.
Yeah, Sunshine will probably just sort of flop down on the bed. Um, it, God, I wiggle. Um, flop down on the bed, do like a big stretch,
Hmm?
and it's just thank you, TM.
Oh, I've just realised. God damn it! I've just realised what the TM means. Damn you. Um, damn you. God damn you. Damn it. God damn it. God damn you for being so clever. Um, she's gonna look down at Sunshine and she's gonna quirk a little smile up and her eyes gonna go that soft mum shape again. Her face goes full mum mode as she gently kind of pulls back the very like rough cotton. Is it cotton? I don't know. The rough blanket. And she's gonna drape that over you, tuck you in. And I'm gonna roll another with save because she might do this.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it,
Yeah,
do it, do
she
it.
does.
Yeah.
Um, as she tucks in Sunshine, she kind of puts a hand over their very small shoulder and most unthinkingly just leans down and drops a little kiss on their forehead, um, and rubs their shoulder and says, good night, little one.
Good night.
And she nods, and
God, this kid is way too trusting of people. Kid is way too trusting of people.
do you think Rabia invited herself along, huh? Kid that trusting? Ah, nah. Nah, she ain't having that out there. Um, although I would like to ask you to roll one last thing, either a perception or an insight.
I will roll an insight because my insight is better than a perception. Holy shit! Yeah! That's a nat 20.
Excellent. This is where you get the good juice.
Finally!
You kind of didn't notice the whole time because you're awake and there were so many other things to distract you. But now that your mind is slowly being lulled into that lovely sleepy state, you kind of look at this woman that you met, this Miss Blind, and you see. Yes, she's looking down at you, and she is very fond. She's also kind of sad. Something sad, like she's lost, or she's lost. She's lost something. Is she lost herself? Something about her is lost. And you see her look out towards the window, where the clouds have darkened with night strolling in across the skies. The sun sets behind these clouds unseen. And she looks out of that window, and you see as the thunder rolls in and a flash of lightning goes by. There is a sliver of a reflection of white in her eye. You can tell there's like a frisson, something about the way she sits near the window. Seems to give you the impression that she is going to be very on guard. looking out.
Mm.
Tense. But
Mm.
you do get the feeling that you're gonna be safe tonight.
Yeah.
Tucked in warm. And that's what you get before you drift off to sleep.
Mm. I think sunshine, uh, there's a small, sleepy resolve in his head that this is probably going to be an interesting story if he sticks around before he fucking passes out.
I love that that's your motive, kid. But yeah.
Listen,
Um,
it's his job. Anyway.
man, yeah. I'm gonna roll a con for Rabia actually. Actually, no, I don't. Species, never mind. She doesn't have to. Um, but
Hello?
yeah, I'd say we close it. Don't worry, I'll tell you after. I say you close it here then.
Mhm.
Basically, camera looks out, shot out the window. Actually, I'm gonna roll her one last perception for funsies. Oh, I
Oh
love
shit.
it. Oh man. Oh boy. Rabia's looking out the window. When that flash of lightning hits, uh, this window is looking out past the fence, back towards the path that she come from, back towards that point of the woods that uh, Sunshine exited from. And from that little path, that little opening that Sunshine exited through, just very briefly, through the flash of lightning that shows, through the flash of lightning that Sunshine sees reflecting in Rabia's eyes, Rabia sees a glowing white figure step out of the woods
Oh shit.
before it goes dark.
Oh fuck.
That's where I'm gonna end it. There
Oh
you go.
shit.
There you go. It's fine.
Oh boy.
There you go. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm sure it's gonna be fun. But yeah, that's where we end it. Thank you very much for playing with me, Magic. This was delightful.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fun.
it was very fun. Now the child has a name.
I
Child
cannot
has
believe
a name.
this. Um anyway, thank you all for listening. You in the audience and you at home. Um
Yes.
I I pre the words, yes.
At
Um
you.
uh
Wrap you in blankets.
have a good time zone, everybody.
Have a good time zone. Enjoy.
Bye.
Goodbye.